Welcome back from the bench, everybody. As always, it's Eric, and today we're back with another box. This is another one of the 2022-2023 Series 2 hockey. So you got the chance of first overall pick, Uri Slafkovsky, fourth overall pick, Shane Wright, bunch of other guys in here. And the draft is coming up, so I got some notes on some of the guys. If you're not super familiar with the draft and everything else, just some notes on some of the guys that are coming up and where they could land in the draft for the top like 5-6 guys here. So anyways, here we go. We'll turn the camera around and get started. Got a couple first and second overall picks in the backdrop. So we got Jackie Ace's Jack Eichel. We got a Connor McDavid. And then we got my boy Nathan MacKinnon all chilling in the background together. Let's get all of them pretty good NHLers, but they all kind of took their own, path to get there to become who they are, right? Connor McDavid, right out of the gate, one of the top, 10, 15 best players in the league from his rookie season on. Jack Eichel, obviously pretty good overall. Team didn't have the success, and then he obviously had injury issues. And then Nate just was slower. So it kind of just shows you that first, second overall, no matter where you are, it all takes time. Right now, they're all three huge superstars in the league. But, Nathan MacKinnon took a couple of years before he became what the Nathan MacKinnon is we know now. So here we go. Got 24 packs of this hobby box, 8 cards per pack. 6 Young Guns hits, and you have the potential of hitting clear cuts, exclusives, high gloss, French Young Guns, black and white canvases, all that other good stuff in here. So we'll start off with pack number 1. And as we move into pick number 1, hard choice this year for the number 1 overall pick. Just joking, obviously. It's Connor Bedard. So starting off with a Pittsburgh Penguins. There's another guy, first overall. Sid. You got Gino there, second overall. Connor Bedard, the anointed number 1 overall pick that's never really been in doubt, I don't think. We'll get to a guy that kind of had people doubting a little bit at one point. He's a little farther down the list. But Connor Bedard, 5'10", so a little bit shorter. You got a chunk of a card here. Perfect. There's a blue on the back, so some Toronto maybe, Tampa, you never know. Bowen Byram, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Oh, and we got a first Young Gun. It's for the Blackhawks. We got Philip Roos. So here we go. Philip Roos is our first one. My cat is underneath my feet. But Connor Bedard, 5'10", 185 pounds. Center for the Regina Pats. His stats are ridiculous. In 71 games for the Regina Pats, or 57 games this year for the Regina Pats, he had 71 goals and 72 assists for 143 points. That is just wild to have 70 goals and 70 assists. So he's obviously a pretty well-rounded player. We get the Lunchbox Legends. This is Clayton Keller. Tom Wilson, Ruby Hintz, Ross Colton, and Nate Dogg himself right there. Had 62 penalty minutes, so I don't know if that's like a Sidney Crosby rookie year type of thing where he's chirping at the refs or just getting little knick-knack penalties, trying to toughen himself up, trying to fight back for himself a little bit too, but did have 62 penalty minutes over the season this year. We got Gino, once again, second overall pick. And we got a Young Guns canvas here. Note there's a program of excellence. Owen Power. That's first overall pick. Owen Power. Kind of fitting, obviously, for this episode. So first overall pick, Owen Power is our first decent hit here. Defenseman, obviously, for that Buffalo Sabres team that I think everyone's going to be a little bit excited about coming into next season. You got Owen Power, you got Peterka, Jack Quinn, Peyton Krebs is what I was thinking of. Dylan Cousins, all those guys. So there we go. Put Owen Power up there. World Juniors, obviously, that's where a lot of people got to really see Connor Bedard actually play, right? Because we don't get to see the WHL Regina Pats games on national television typically. You see the odd highlight for Connor Bedard, but you're not going to see like actual games usually, unless it's like one of those weird like Sportsnet game of the week type of things. But in the World Juniors, 7 games played, 9 goals, 14 assists. Literally put the team on his back at some points. Next young gun is for the Canadians. It's a left winger. I literally couldn't ask for a better box for this video. Uri Slavkovsky. Here's the box, by the way. Here's the box. It's opened. You can see how he packs it. Anyways, Uri Slavkovsky is our first overall pick from last year. Just this. Once again, that's kind of the luck over here at the bench. Sometimes the cards that land in the breaks are just kind of the ones I'm having conversations about. So, first overall pick. As I'm still talking about Connor Bedard, you pull Owen Power and Uri Slavkovsky, the last 2 first overall picks in the NHL draft. So, Blake Coleman, Danton Heinen, Jonathan Quick, and Connor Garland, former Moncton Wildcat. 7 goals. They had that ridiculous goal in overtime. That was just, I watched that game. It was just so ridiculous. So I'm just going to beat everybody. Okay. I tried to do this either way. I'm just going to try to beat everybody here. Gergensen, Caleb Jones, Keandre Miller, and Mark Scheifele. See what they do over there in Winnipeg. Looks like they might try to switch it up a little bit over there. Owen Power. Jeez Louise, get back up there. And then in the playoffs, he 7 games played. He had 10 goals, 10 assists. Just sticking on that same 1 goal, 1 assist, back and forth. Evening out that. So 20. He essentially was 3 points per game in the playoffs, where they end up eventually losing. It's hard. It's the juniors, right? I don't think the Regina Pats weren't going all in on him. You only got him for 2 years. Then he's obviously gone. It's hard to build around him, everything else. So, but yeah, it's hard to say anything else about the guy other than like he's obviously going to be the first overall pick. Everything about him, everyone said, is he is everything you could ever want. Kevin Shattenkirk, Leon Nate, but so easy pick. Once again, it's the Bedard draft, and then really number 2, it starts maybe a little. You can never know who's going, but it looks like it's probably going to be Adam Fantilli, 6'2", 195-pound Canadian center, that's playing for the University of Michigan. Dan Vladar, Gustav Nyquist, Nick Suzuki, and next up is for the Penguins, Philip Hallander. I thought maybe we get Samuel Poulin. I think he's a winger though. Philip Hallander is our next young gun. So there we go. Good thing I don't think I have either one of those guys in my Young Guns checklist yet that I try to build. But Adam Fantilli, so he had 36 games for University of Michigan. He had 30 goals, 35 assists for 65 points, 67 penalty minutes. So he's the same as Bedard here. He's trying to put some of those penalty minutes up. Maybe add a little toughness to his scouting report. Wild Bill, Patty Kane, and Evander Kane right behind him. So, and then in the World Juniors, he obviously still played. He didn't have the same impact as, and it's one of those things it kind of shows you like the difference of the players. But Connor Bedard obviously had 23 points in 7 games in the World Juniors. Adam Fantilli, 7 games played. He had 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. It's just, there's levels to this, I guess is how they kind of say it, right? Robbie Fabry, Corey Perry, Ricard Raquel. What is this? It's a clear cut. It's a vet. Trevor Zegras. So this is second year Trevor Zegras. I'm talking about the Ducks. This is Adam Fantilli's future line mate. Once again, can't make this stuff up, people. Can't. So Adam Fantilli and Trevor Zegras going to be line mates there. It's one of the things I kind of liked about Fantilli. Not that obviously you want Bedard, right? But it's just one of the things that's like you get Bedard there with Trevor Zegras, which I think Zegras is 6 foot tall or something like that. It's just a smaller build. I've said in other videos. And then, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things. Fantilli's big boy, 6'2". Played in the World Championship, had 10 games, 1 goal, 2 assists in the World Championships, where Canada eventually won gold. He did have that huge hit that I think got him kicked out of the game. So that's kind of the other thing about him. But once again, Adam Fantilli, big boy, gonna play well, gonna play hard, gonna hit, gonna score, gonna do all that other stuff. So looks like a pretty much a lock at number 2, but you never know. Chris Letang, and this is gonna be Calder. This is Slavkovsky for Calder. Maybe he didn't get hurt, but the Matty Beniers, Calder to win or lose, I guess. Has that been announced yet? I don't even know. But, Slavkovsky for Calder. Obviously struggled in his first year. And that's fine. It's allowed to happen, right? Like, not every player is going to be Connor McDavid coming out of the gates, right? So, Kotkaniemi, Dougie Hamilton, and World Junior grads. Talking a lot of World Juniors on this. David Pasternak. We got Big Val, Matthew Joseph, Vasilevsky, and Keegan Colasar. Next up, Columbus Blue Jackets. So they drop all the way to 3rd. Leo Carlson is the next guy up that I saw on most mock drafts. He is a 6'3", 198 pounds, big boy, center out of Orebro HK. I think that's hockey club. Maybe it's spelled differently, HK, because I don't know what the HK is for. It's obviously a lot of these leagues. In the Sweden Hockey League, so I think it's the big Sweden Hockey League. It's SWEHL. 44 games played, 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points. So pretty good. Once again, not good. Oh yeah, what is this? Okay, just French variant. I thought maybe it was exclusive or something like that. Cam Atkinson in the French variation, Brady Tkachuk, Mark Scheifele, and Devin Taves. Those big leagues, it's typically you don't see guys putting up a ton of points in the men's league of the Sweden Hockey League the year of the draft. So to even have 25 points is pretty good. World Juniors, 7 games played, 3 goals, 3 assists, so 6 points. So same thing, nothing too crazy, but you got to understand some of these guys are playing against, especially the teams, right? They're pushing their their 19-year-old stuff like that. They're pushing their older players instead of Fantilli and Leo Carlson and everything else to the top lines because they want to win. They want the best players who are usually your older players, right? So Kevin Shattenkirk, next young gun is going to be for the Coyotes. Michael Carlson is the next one. We're already playing with borrowed money here. We got the Owen Power and the Slavkovsky. So Michael Carlson is our next young gun. Eric Robinson, Philip Tomasino, Varley, and Matt Dumba. World Juniors, 3 goals, 3 assists, for 6 points. And then he played in the World Championship too, just like Adam Fantilli. He had 8 games played. He had 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points. So a couple less games than Fantilli, but actually had a couple more points than him at the same time. So Adam Larson, Josh Norris, next young gun up is going to be for the Ducks. D-man. This is Hunter Drew. Like I said, at least we're getting here a bunch of guys that I don't have yet. 1998, so definitely an older player in comparison. 2004, so you're talking 6 years difference between Hunter Drew and Uri Slavkovsky in age. So not usually ideal for young guns, but that's to be expected. So, so that's it. That's another big body center. It's like 4 straight centers here on my list. So next center up on the list, this one is going to San Jose Sharks. So it is an American, Will Smith. He's getting jiggy with it. Trevor Lewis, Aaron Ekblad. That was a terrible joke. Brian Rust, There we go. Blake Coleman. This is a short print. These are super hard to hit. I think I've only ever hit one before. It's a day with the cup of Blake Coleman. That's a nice hit right there. Not the hugest name, right? It's not a Hedman. It's not a Stammer, Point, Vasilevsky, whoever. But hey, Blake Coleman, day with the cup. I'm telling you, this box has treated me pretty well so far. There we go. And that's the goal at the end of the day, right? You're building all these guys. You're drafting all these first overall picks in hopes that you're going to hit a Stanley Cup, right? So, but yeah, Will Smith, 6 foot tall, 172 pounds. So he needs to put a little weight on. Maybe that's changed. These aren't combine numbers. These are hockey DB numbers, I think, maybe Elite Prospects numbers. Alexander Carrier, Brandon Montour, Mikko, Jacob Chikrin, and Abruzzi's, Jesse Puljujarvi. Center, once said 6 foot tall, 172 pounds center, out of the USA U18 program. He had 60 games played for the U18 program, 51 goals, 76 assists for 127 points. One thing is, and it's not really a big deal for a lot of these guys, right? A lot of these guys aren't ready to jump into the league day one anyways. But he is going to play at least 1 year at Boston College. That's just what it is. He's committed. So he's playing at least 1 year for Boston College. Probably not a bad thing for the kid anyways. Once again, just to develop a little more, get around with some bigger guys. You're not playing against U18s anymore. You're playing against, just university kids, right? So you're playing against more grown men. But yeah, so San Jose, they're not really any position, I don't think, to contend anytime soon, right? So for them, it's not a big deal that they're going to grab a guy and he's going to sit for another year. To me, I don't think that's a big deal. Nuge, Justin Barron, Capo Caco, Dawson Mercer, and Matthias Maselli in the portraits with a Paul Byron, Derek Grant, and a Kane behind him. Another guy that they could take, you never know. It's crazier things have happened, especially a lot of these teams where they don't have a huge, they're not desperate for a guy, right? They're not on the cusp of contending. They didn't luck out by getting one of these picks in a trade, and the team just ended up, being bad and everything else. Colorado with the Ottawa pick years ago. Next up, young gun for the Bruins. Get him again. Jacob Loco is our next hit. So doubling up on the Jacob Locos. Austin Matthews, Bobrovsky, Kirill Kaprizov, and a Petro. The next person up is a Matvei Michkov. This guy was rumored at one point. It was like, it's the Bedard Michkov draft. Like, it's who do you want? They're like 1A, 1B. That was kind of the way it was for the entire thing. And then I think what really held it back is Michkov is signed to the KHL through the 2025-2026 season. So he's only going to be able to get into the NHL at 2022. So he'll play the fall of 2026. So you really have to wait, right? You're waiting so long to actually get this kid in your building to be able to actually play him. So is anybody going to be interested? How far does he drop because of that, right? Might all depend on who the team is. We get Mitch Marner in the Lunchbox Legends. We got Giordano Tolvanen and Seth Jarvis. But Michkov is a 5'10", so same height as Bedard. 172 pound right winger from Russia. He played a little bit for SKA St. Petersburg, and then also played for Sochi in the KHL this past year. Next pack up, we got Dazzlers. This one is Fredrik Karlstrom. I don't think I've actually hit his young gun or anything yet. So Fredrik Karlsson, Sid, once again, first overall pick. Obviously, sometimes they work out. Rasmus Dahlin. Man, we're getting all the first here. St. Petersburg had 3 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. So wasn't the spot for him, obviously, this year. But Sochi played 27 games, 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points. So 27 games, 20 points in the KHL, which is obviously a good league. As a underager essentially to put up those points, you got to be pretty happy with that. But like I said, he's not going to be there till fall of 2026. So that's a long wait for a lot of franchises, especially when you spend that high of a pick on them. Next up for the Winnipeg Jets, Michael Eyssimont pulled a black Young Guns canvas. Not the guy you're looking for here. That's fine. Sebastian Aho, Jordan Stahl, Brock Bessert, and Tyler Bertuzzi. Next guy up, just because I wanted to add one more. That pick would go to Montreal, by the way. So maybe Montreal says I can wait. I feel like San Jose would be more willing to say, like, maybe we can wait for this, like, potentially generational talent. I said it's just one of those things where you don't really have a say over them for those, like, really, like, you don't get them for 3 full seasons. It's a little weird, right? It's a long wait. But, maybe it's a decision that San Jose makes, or they take Will Smith, who knows. And then next up for Arizona at pick number 6, Teuvo Teravainen, Rem Pitlick, Sam Carrick, honor roll of Mark Kastelik, Thomas Hertl, Quentin Byfield, and Braden Shen. Is a Ryan Leonard, 5'11", 192 pound right winger, also from the USA U18 program. 57 games there. He had 51 goals, 43 assists for 94 points. If you remember, Will Smith had 51 goals, but 76 assists for 127 points. So, he had an extra 127. So he had an extra 33 points over him. He's also, this Ryan Leonard kid, also committed to Boston College for 1 year, no matter what. So, that's your 5th, 6th, 4th, those picks, those aren't really, once again, going to be typically joining you right away, right? They're typically not jumping in, year 1. That's just not how it usually works out. Usually they're a year or 2 down the road, unless the, cupboards are bare. They just need to throw somebody in there. But a lot of times they're trying to develop you, right? So they'll send you back to junior for a year, college in this case, leave you over to the Swedish Hockey League, wherever, or bring you over to the AHL if you're from overseas. Lots of different options. So last pack, Jacob Voracek, Yanni Gord, Swayman, Matty Beniers in the honor roll, Leon Draisaitl, Nick Ritchie, Mark Chasseau, and Patrick Hornquist. And that's pretty much the preview that I got. Like I said, nothing too crazy here. Like I said, it's Bedard, it's Fantilli, I think Leo Carlson. And then I think at that 4 pick is kind of where it could kind of get a little, who knows what San Jose does, right? Do they just go with Will Smith, where he's, probably the best, closest to being available. But once again, he's not available until the 2024-2025 season. Or do you wait another season for Michkov, which is once again, generational talent, like a Bedard in a lot of senses, and have him come over and just wait for him, right? So, I don't know. San Jose, I think they could almost do that. They're not, once again, not contending anytime soon. You got William Eklund, my boy. Love him. But other than that, the cupboards are kind of a little bare over there, and I don't think they're going to be contending anytime soon. So maybe they will take that. So I think the draft really starts at that 4 spot. 1, 2, 3, I think it's pretty locked up. But once again, I want to give you guys some insight. If you haven't looked into any of these guys, if you just watch card content, maybe this is something that helps you. We add that in there a little bit. Do have more products to open up on the channel. Lots of other hobby boxes. Some more of this Series 2. I got extended series. I got Series 2 from 2021, 2022. So lots of different stuff for you guys to watch on this. I'll have a PSA reveal come back at some point. Have some card show vlogs that I'll probably be doing. And then just a couple other things on the channel. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. And for Eric from the bench, talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.